The allure of unseen footage is undeniable. Fans yearn to witness the moments that were left on the cutting room floor. From extended conversations to extra battles and intriguing character interactions, these unseen scenes offer a glimpse of hope Tolkien fans have to see more of Tolkien's work on screen. Today on Fantasy Archive, we're going over what was left out from the Lord of the Rings movie trilogy. Stay tuned because we'll explore Peter Jackson's own words on this matter, and we'll discuss what the Tolkien community is doing as an attempt to bring these hidden treasures to light. Without a doubt, The Lord of the Rings stands as one of the greatest movie trilogies ever. Even after more than 2 decades, it still captivates audiences and rightly earned every bit of the 17 Oscars it received. But did you know there's a crazy amount of unseen footage from the making of these films? Every film usually has some scenes that don't make it to the final cut, but The Lord of the Rings took this to a whole new level. They shot for a whopping 438 days, resulting in an absolutely enormous amount of footage. To put this into perspective, in 2015, during a Comic-Con event, director Peter Jackson casually mentions that there's around 7 million feet of footage stored in a Warner Brothers facility in Arizona. It's hard to fathom just how much material that is. Some of these scenes are great on their own, while others would have provided crucial details to the plot or enriched the world of Middle-earth. Most of them fall into both categories. However, they all have one thing in common. They deserve a place in the main trilogy, even if it meant making the movies even longer. Let's start with the scoring of the Shire. In the books, after the One Ring is destroyed, Frodo, Sam, Merry and Pippin go back to the Shire, only to find that it has been taken over by ruffians led by Sharky, also known as Saruman. Many hobbits were imprisoned, and the once green Shire was now industrialized. In the movies, we see a glimpse of the scouring as a vision in Galadriel's mirror, presenting a possible future. The film adaptation does not depict the hobbits returning to a changed Shire. However, Tolkien mentions in the foreword to the second edition of The Lord of the Rings that the scoring is an essential part of the plot. While we understand Peter Jackson's decision to leave out the scoring of the Shire because it didn't translate to film, we wish we could have seen it. Neater doesn't always mean better. Next up is Arwen's first meeting with Aragon. This scene didn't make it into any version of the films, despite being glimpsed in a teaser trailer for The Two Towers. Viggo Mortensen as Aragon was clean-shaven and prettied up to look as young as possible. His hair was different and he was dressed as an elf. This scene is from the courtship days. Arwen and Aragon walk in a flowery meadow. A significant portion of Arwen's scenes were removed from the second film, but this one made us miss some romance. Additionally, we have Arwen at Helm's Deep. As mentioned earlier, Arwen had a reduced presence in The Two Towers. While Liv Tyler did have a few scenes in the middle chapter, they didn't do much for her character development. Originally, Arwen was meant to play a more significant role in the second film. There was a daring plan to have her involved in the Battle of Helm's Deep. The elves fighting with Rohan is a deviation. In the books, the elves are fighting in Rivendell and Lothlorien. Since there is a geographic challenge for Arwen and Aragon's story to develop on screen, and in order to not leave out the elves' participation in battle, this adaptation makes sense. However, Arwen's scenes were cut out due to her participation in the battle leaking and the public not reacting well to it. If you pay close attention, Arwen is visible in the background in several shots. Next is Frodo becoming Golem. Throughout their interactions together, Golem painfully illustrates what could become of Frodo if the One Ring fully corrupted him. But when it comes to filming the trilogy, that comparison almost becomes very literal. An early plan for a scene in The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers called for a shot of Frodo in his own golem form. Faramir attempts to take the ring from Frodo and has a vision of what Frodo would become if the ring took him. Making him avoid his brother Boromir's mistake, this terrifying glimpse reveals the terrible fate Frodo narrowly avoided. Nevertheless, Frodo would be affected by the One Ring for the rest of his life, which explains his decision to depart from Middle-earth with Galadriel, Gandalf, and Elrond. Next we have the deleted scene of Faramir and Éowyn's wedding. If Faramir was shortchanged in the regular movies, Éomer's luck wasn't any better. And that's a bummer. But guess what? The extended editions give Faramir more time to shine, especially when it comes to his romance with Aoan. In the original cut, they end up together, but it feels like something is missing. In the extended versions, you get to see their love story fully, but we do not get to see their wedding, which was shot. Actress Miranda Otto shared a post on Instagram of herself in a wedding dress with Faramir. Gilgalad's death. Another scene that didn't make it to the theaters or the extended version of the movie involves the death of Gilgalad. Now, to give some background, Gilgalad and Elendil led the last alliance of elves and men against Sauron in battle. In the end, Sauron did defeat and kill Elendil and Gilgalad, but they also managed to overthrow Sauron, thanks to Isildur removing the One Ring from Sauron's finger. However, there is a difference in how this event is portrayed in the books and in the movies. In the films, Isildur is the main hero who defeats Sauron, but in the books, it's a team effort, with Gilgalad and Elendil playing a crucial role, even though they tragically lose their lives in the process. So even though Gilgalad might seem like a side character, he's actually one of the key reasons the entire Lord of the Rings story unfolds. That's why many fans wished they'd shown his death scene in the movies.
Some who were not born to die, whom age and disease could not touch, were slain. Gilgalad was slain.
Aoan fighting Urai. Another scene that didn't make it to the big screen is when Aoan defended refugees in the glittering caves from the Urai intruders. Many fans would have loved to see this scene because it highlights Aowan's bravery and adds an exciting dimension to her character. Next is how Sauron forged the One Ring. The next crucial scene that was left out of the big screen is the dialogue from the Council of Elrond, especially Gandalf's explanation of how Sauron created the One Ring. This would have been fascinating because it could have revealed the intriguing details of how Sauron crafted the all-powerful One Ring.
Sauron would hold out his hand, and the piece of solid gold that he held in the palm of his hand would actually melt, and then he would, with his knife, cut into the palm of his hand, and his blood would mix with the gold, and then he would form the ring from there.
Aragorn versus Sauron on his physical form. And now for the grand finale of the deleted scenes that fans would have absolutely thrilled to witness. It is the epic showdown between Aragorn and Sauron in his true physical form. This is the scene that didn't quite make it to the final cut, and it's a real gem. In the original version of the scene, Sauron made a grand entrance in his angelic form known as Anatar, which had a blinding effect on Gandalf, Aragorn, and the other heroes. But the real showstopper came from when Sauron underwent a transformation, assuming his menacing physical form, much like the one we witnessed in the prologue of the Fellowship of the Ring. It would have been a visual feast and a jaw-dropping moment in the film. So you might be wondering, what can we do about this? Well,
who made you king of the plane wreck? Excuse me. Fine.
Peter Jackson has had an idea for a special 20th anniversary edition right from the start, but it didn't make it to an extended cut. He jokingly suggested saving it for the 25th or maybe even the 50th anniversary, and he's open to making another extended edition if there's enough fans interested. So the future of The Lord of the Rings might just bring more of Jackson's incredible work to our screens, be it in a miniseries or another movie. What truly matters is that the fans get to enjoy it. Now let's give Warner Brothers an extra nudge. When fans rallied for Zack Snyder's Justice League, the studio poured $70 million into reshoots and re-releasing the film. But for The Lord of the Rings, we don't need any reshoots or extra shooting. All the footage is already there. It's just a matter of putting it together under Peter Jackson's watchful eye. We have proof of how powerful viral support can be, especially with the internet and social media. And right now the timing is just perfect to tell Warner Brothers what fans like us want. After all, the 25th anniversary of the Fellowship of the Ring is just a few years away. This is our chance to relive the magic of Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings in a whole new way. So let's make it happen. You'll find a petition in the description ready for your signature to share with your fellow fans. Spread the word and use the hashtag release the Lord of the Rings 25th cut. To quote our favorite dwarf,
certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for?